Morning, Wednesday again, so here I am. Have a little bit of a talk to myself and anyone who's listening out there who wants to listen to my Wednesday waffle. I've nearly just made myself pass out. I've got some of this coffee because I've got a bit left, but I only make them a small bit at a time because I obviously drink it black and it can go cold quite quickly for some reason. But you know, when you just put a bit in the bottom, you're tipping it up and you start sort of breathing it in, ready for that sip, but it didn't come. My goodness, I thought I was going to pass out. Anyway, it's a nice cup of coffee, nice bit of coconut sugar again. Really, I didn't used to have sugar. I don't know why I'm doing it now. It's in a silver caddy, so perhaps I just think I'm being posh. Anyway, I'm easing myself into today. I say that I was still up at 6, but yesterday was crazy. I was up at 4 o'clock. I woke up, seemed wide awake. I thought, you're wide awake, Emma. There's no point waiting for time to get up. So I'll get up and make a start on the day. Boy, was I shattered. I think I was in bed by 8:30. But I did get some baking done. Oh my gosh, if you've not seen the video, why not? Are you not subscribed? I do shorts. And I did a short on my hobnobs. Oh my God, they're so good. I mean, hobnobs are ace. But then when you can make them yourself, which isn't difficult, and when they're made with love, absolutely fabulous. Go and check out that. Oh, if you had smell-o-vision, feel free if you want to order some from me. Just message me. I'll happily make some and you can pay me. I can send them out. Yummy. Anyway, yes, so I'm taking it easy today. And I got myself ready, as I do. Did my reading. And I'd got Aphrodite on my goddess cards. And it says about being feminine, and too many times when I'm getting dressed I just think, oh, comfy, especially when this weather's up and down. I'll just stick on some slacks, trousers, some comfies and you know, like a warm comfy top. And I thought, oh no, come on, you know, I may be in the house, I may have only just gone shopping, but I thought, well, it makes you feel good, doesn't it? So I thought I'd put my little dress on. I have a thing about sort of black with white polka dots. I do like it. On sale, French Connection from the outlet. Proper cheap. I don't know why I have to justify myself. I do not. Anyway, yes, I had a sort of slow morning. I thought, right, I need to go shopping because I did some baking yesterday, but not as much as I wanted to. And there's a few more bits and pieces I need to get. Glacier cherries being one, because my cherry and coconut cake went down a storm. What else did I need to get? Oh, posting off my Vinted. And I obviously needed a leopard print bath towel, as you do, but it's a treat for me. And yes, so I've eased my way in. I've had a nice couple of customers, a few customers. It's about 8 o'clock this morning. You know, they're not preschool children; they're kids on the way to school. One lot made me laugh. They have done the last couple of days. They seem lovely girls, and it's always lovely to hear, like, you know, oh, that looks lovely, that looks great. And they was going, oh, you know, thank you, Mrs. Hammond. And then they went and did this. I Googled it. I asked my daughter, who's 26, if she knew what they meant. She just laughed at me and then admitted she didn't. So I've asked her to ask the granddaughter, who's 4. Wow, how to make you feel old. But someone said it's 6 and 7 when I put that on my Facebook. And then I said, what, is that the rating for my cake? I don't know. But it was just lovely to have a little bit of fun, and I hope they keep coming. And I will do some more baking today. I was hoping for a day of Vinted because I seriously need to do some decluttering, which brings me nicely to kind of something I wanted to talk about. I've been listening to this podcast called Uncanny Crystals. The guy's called Matty, and his second name for now escapes me. Kelsey Emma. I will put a link in the description for the podcast. But I've only come across this recently. And did I say uncanny or canny? It's Canny Crystals. I love uncanny. So as soon as you put canny in it, I'm getting confused. Anyway, so it's Canny Crystals. As you can imagine from that, he's from the northeast. Sure, it's Newcastle. I don't want to insult him, but he's fabulous. And I spent all yesterday afternoon binging through his podcasts, because I think he's been going for a few years now, and I'm very wary of podcasts and YouTube, she says, on YouTube, of what people are coming out with, but everything he says really makes sense. I'm following my path as a green witch, but a lot of that crosses over into just, self-care, sort of your gratitude, meditation, journaling. There's a lot of crossover with, I don't know what, there's loads of really wanky words for it, like new age therapies and all this. And I even calling it that kind of thing. I just can't think of what the actual word is for it. But he really resonates with me. I think he's brilliant. I think he's very down to earth, very real. And there's a lot I'm getting from him, and a real load of ideas, like I said, that resonate with me. And one of them being decluttering. And if you're a fan of Stacey Solomon, Sort Your Life Out, I love it. And I watched one the other day, and it was with a family that have got an autistic child, and I think the mum and the daughter have got ADHD. Their house was crazy sort of full. And it kind of, hit me like, oh God, Emma, look at your front bedroom. Look at the sunroom. Absolutely, the front bedroom is looking like I'm a hoarder. I can't even say it looks like a charity shop. I look like a hoarder. And that's because it's my vintage room. Because I'm trying to vint the shit out of my sort of house. And I suggested to my sister, who'd moved house recently, I'll help her. And she said, well, I'll give you something from it if you do mine. So, oh my God, I've got piles of it. And in the sunroom, it's kind of like a plant room. We don't usually really use it in the winter because it's not got a radiator in there as yet. It's meant to have, but it will do. But it won't need it now because it's a shock here. I call it the sunroom because when it comes to spring and summer, especially the summer, it gets the sun. It is glorious. And I've been using it as seed central, basically. I have a big thing with all drawers in it, which I sort of alphabeticalized the drawers, and they got all my seeds in, and then I sort through the seeds and put loads on the side of what I want to plant at the moment, which is a pile. And also it's covered in what you call it, coffee pods, used coffee pods, because I tend to decant them all once they're used, and then I use it for the garden, and there's just loads that I need to decant. So that's getting cluttered up as well. And if you can keep up with me, I'm just keeping up with myself, and if anyone's listening, I just thought, God, it boggles your mind. And when, like I said, when I was watching this Stacey Solomon and this members of this family were saying, like, with their conditions, how they can't cope, and I'm thinking, well, it's no wonder, really. I don't think you have to be autistic or ADHD to feel that being, like, overwhelmed, because it's just not good for you. And I was going to have, like I say, I was going to have a day of Vinted today, but I need to get on with some baking. Tomorrow is Vinted day. And they kick up so I went to B&M yesterday. Always a mistake. I went for some underbed storage, because my idea is get the stuff on Vinted, fold it up, get it in these plastic containers, put them under the bed, and then as they sell, bring them out. Very organised. I just so happened to, while I was there, buy 2 sets of solar garden lights, a solar light with a wind chime. What else did I do? Oh yes, a shower mat I needed because it's got cherries on it. Oh. Anywho, I'd gone to B&M. We're going to go around the houses, aren't we? And we'll go, oh, do I save it? I'll forget otherwise. Park the decluttering for now. I was supposed to deliver one of my yuccas, because I've got some yucca babies of varying sizes on Facebook Market. And someone wanted one, but wanted it delivered. And they're only, I say pretty much around the corner. When it's like in the car, it's not so bad. If you're on foot, it's a bit more of a hike, I would say. So I thought, well, 2 birds, 1 stone and all that, because I'm very much into that. I thought, I'll go and drop that off. We'd agreed to it be in the morning. And on my way to B&M. Anyway, I went round and no one answered. And I was like, oh, for goodness sake. I mean, she did offer to pay petrol. And I was kind of, I don't know, I should do, especially at the moment, because of the price of bloody petrol at the moment. But I was really umming and ahhing about it. But then when no one answered, I was pissed off, because, you can get messed around on Facebook Market quite a bit, which is annoying. Time wasters. Anyway, I messaged her and said, oh, I had tried you, but I've got no answer. And I thought, it's just someone messing me around. So I carried on down to B&M. And then she got back to me saying, oh, sorry, I was in the back garden. I didn't hear the door. I mean, this is where your doorbell, your Ring camera's a good idea, really, and taking your phone with you so you can hear, because at least then you can get on your app and go, oh, wait a minute, and jog down to the front door. Anyway, I said, well, look, if you are wanting this, because I can't help but being suspicious of being, messed around again. I said, it's going to be like a £5 delivery, because that means I've had to go there twice. And so I got there and I could see a woman sort of like waiting outside. And, I just thought, oh, God, because just to put your foot down, to sort of be that, bit of reality of, it does cost. It's, everything can't be goodwill. And I got out the car and said, oh, hello, and she goes, I said, oh, it's just I'm a bit worried about time wasters with Facebook Market, She goes, oh, I know how you feel. She goes, it was just that I was in the garden, I was just getting some sun, because I'm just recovering from cancer. And you know when someone carries on the conversation and you're like, I went, oh, I'm so sorry. But then she handed over the money, took the plant and went in. And I was like, oh, I feel so bad. And then you start thinking, is she just saying that? Should have given her, you know, my instinct was like, well, I'm just to like not take the £5, but it all sort of happened so quick. The skeptic in me was going, oh, is she just saying that, making, because you know some people feel like they have to make excuses, but I mean that's a bit of a serious one to say. And I felt dreadful. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I've donated that £5 to Macmillan cancer charity, because whatever it was and the way I was caught, I just felt bad. And I'm trying to sort of even up my karma, I suppose, in a way, by making a donation. So I hope the universe sees that. Anywho, so I'll get back. As I'm getting into the house and I'm taking these storage things upstairs, I'll get an email. I've sold something on Vinted. I thought, well, there you go. There's a sign. There's a kick up the backside. Things are starting to sell again. I thought, that's it. I've got to have a day of it. Bakes didn't get as many as I wanted, and yesterday I'd sold out loads. So, like I said, I'm going to have a Vinted day tomorrow, because I must declutter, because I feel quite strongly that having clutter around you, it can sometimes, I think, be caused by your mental health issue, but I think it can create it. I hugely do, because I don't know if anyone feels the same, you know, how overwhelming it becomes, and then you just shut that door or draw a curtain across it and you just leave it. And I just thought, this has got to stop, because it must have an effect. And I think this guy on Canny Crystals, you know, spoke about it, and you know, talking about how your house is an extension of you, and how energy moves around the house, and how energy affects you. And clutter does that, you know. I think I've always believed that, and as part of me, you know, sort of years ago, I remember with Feng Shui, you know, I remember, I think before I had my daughter, and I wanted another child, and it just wasn't happening. And I kept, there's a 9-year age gap between my son and my daughter. And I kept a load of all his old baby stuff in, you know, the hope you think, oh, hand me down sort of thing. And I got to the point where, no, it's got to go. And I had a clear out. And I don't know what the time span was, but I got pregnant. And you can say, oh, it's just coincidence. And, you know, this guy talks about things being coincidences. And whether it is or it isn't, if you're taking proactive action, you know, that's got to be a good thing, surely. So, yes, the whole energy vibe I'm really sort of getting into at the moment, whether it's sort of decluttering, thinking about how things are in the house and how it serves you, really, and how you're serving yourself. Like I said today, you know, getting not dressed up, but, you know, just making an effort, because it shouldn't always be just making an effort for anybody else. It should be for yourself, because you are important. And how are you meant to expect any feelings of importance or whatever? I can't think of what else. Well, not loved and whatever, but, you know, if you don't respect yourself, how do you expect other people to, you know? And it's like this morning, and I've put it many times before, and it's something I do a lot now, is when I go out to the shops, smiling. making jokes in the queue, you know, just creating a little, you know, sort of thanking whoever's on the cash till. You have a nice day, or at least have a nice day when you get home, you know, ha ha ha. But, you know, just showing a bit of appreciation, because what you know, what you're putting out there, sort of visually, karma-wise, everything is a matter of giving and receiving, you know. I'm really, yeah, it's really thought-provoking. And I think it definitely being more proactive in being more positive instead of just waiting around expecting it to happen. You know, you can't just sit there waiting for things to happen. You know, what is it? You can't expect things on a plate, as whatever, you know, people used to say. And it's, I think it's about manifestation is something that I'm really trying to learn a lot about. And that's another amazing thing. Gratitude, manifestation, giving and receiving. And it's brilliant because it's stopping my mind now when I start feeling myself going down an alleyway in my head, to bring myself back, align myself, you know. And it takes a bit of a while and takes practice. And it's like not being, I've said it before, my favourite crass. I don't know why I don't call this podcast, I've said it before. And I've probably said that. But like, be nice to yourself, as well as, like, you know, making yourself smell nice. Today I've got 3 perfumes on, wafting around. Got my incense sticks on, so yes, I'm very much souk vibe again today. But yes, treat yourself with kindness, whether it's words or how you're dressing yourself, putting a bit of makeup on, doing your hair and whatever. You know, it's not all costly. It might be time costly, but it doesn't need to. Take time. But do give yourself and give other people's just that little fraction of time, of a smile. Even if you don't get it back, just think, you've put it out there, you know. And I do have to pull myself up when I'm in my car and calling people, the drivers, bad words. But I have to remind myself I'm not perfect, am I? Anyway, I will put that link into the description, because if you're ever interested about manifestation, or just being more thoughtful about yourself and everything around you, he's a really good listen. And if anyone else has got any other, you know, sort of good wellness books, would that be? Like I said, I do the insight timer. It's all really useful, and I just think with the chaos that's going on, any bit of self-help is good. I mean, talking to yourself's good. Journaling is brilliant. It's just getting it out there. It's amazing. So yes, that's my thoughts for today. And I'm going to upload this, finish this coffee. It's a bit blooming strong. I feel a bit of a headache coming on. And get baking while listening to Canny Crystals. Again, not again, I mean carry on listening to it. And if you've got any more, like I said, mindful podcasts which are, you know, are not cons or just trying to take your money and whatever, I think you know, most people have got good bullshitometers, and I've got a great feeling about this guy. So yeah, I'm going to get baking from the heart. I've got some great ideas of yumminess. Can you please send some vibes out to me this afternoon? And what I want you to say, don't say it loud, but it's like, Emma, don't eat the cake crumbs, don't lick the whisk, stop eating the icing that's spilt out onto the chopping board. Can you do that for me? Because I'm really struggling with eating crap. I need to be manifesting more green in my life. As much as that's hard to believe, I really do. Anyhow, that's my waffle for today. I'll probably be getting some more shorts up there, shorts up later if my bakes work out as well as I hope them to be, which I'm sure they will. Oh God, wheezy. Yes, I've had my antihistamine. Pollen's not too bad today. Anywho, yes, I'm going. If anyone's listened to me, marvellous, thank you. Subscribe, leave a comment, a positive comment like I always say, because if you want to leave anything negative, you know where it's going to go, don't you? It'll just go back to you. Put the positivity out there, that will come back to you. If you don't want to be feeling loads of neg, don't put any negativity down there in the comments. Maybe give me a like, but definitely subscribe. I'm up to 123, trying to get to 500. That's my next step. And yeah, I'm going to get on with my day. Have a good one. I'm sure I'm getting something. Look, I made notes. I'm like almost a professional, aren't I? Oh, I'd say I'd have the BBC knocking on my door anytime soon, but I don't really think I want to be associated with the BBC. Thank you. Have a good day. Much love. Whoa. And positivity. Bye.